There are rooms that were never built for you to win in. You learn that fast, not from someone telling you, from the way the air changes when you walk in. The rules are different in those rooms. Not written down, not explained, just enforced. I've been in those rooms. And I learned one thing: every system has a gap. Every structure has a seam. Not because it was built badly, because it was built for someone else. When you're not that someone else, you either find the gap, or you disappear. I found the gaps. Every time. That's not luck. That's pattern recognition, forged under pressure. That's what I brought to this. Not a course, not a dream board, a mind that was trained in rooms that don't forgive mistakes. And when I started looking at the market, I saw the same thing. Gaps, everywhere. Most people were trading time for money, with nothing underneath it. No entity, no system, no infrastructure, just hustle, with no architecture. So I built something different. Not just a business, a system. 7 rings, each one with a purpose. Each one feeding the next. Right now, only 3 are active. And that matters, because most people wait until everything is working, before they show anything. I'm doing the opposite. I'm showing you the machine, while it's still being built. While it's still incomplete. While the numbers are still at 0. The first ring is physical. The cleaning service. Not glamorous, not exciting, but real, because real businesses need real work done. Cleaning, operations, execution, things that get paid for regardless of algorithms. This is the anchor, the ground-level cash flow. Or at least, that's the plan. Because right now, there are 0 clients. 0. No contracts, no recurring revenue, no proof yet, just structure, just research, just preparation. This is what the start actually looks like. Not money, math, not wins, setup. And the math is simple. How many buildings, how many units, what they pay, what they need, where the gaps are. Because even in something as basic as cleaning, there are seams. Missed details, inconsistent operators, poor communication. That's where entry lives. That's what gets built first. Not income, position. The second ring is digital. Print on demand, not fashion, not trends, message. Philosophy made physical, simple products, clear statements, things that carry meaning without explanation. Because attention fades, but objects stay. This ring doesn't depend on time. It depends on design and positioning, something that can exist and sell without you being present. That's the difference between working and building something that works. So if you want to see what this actually takes, not the version after it's cleaned up, not the version after it's packaged for a course, the real version, while it's still being assembled. While the rain is still hitting the pavement in the Bronx. While I'm still the only one in the room. Stay in. This is episode 1. The build has started. Welcome to the future hustle. The third ring is publishing. KDP. Digital equity. Not just books. Assets. Something that compounds. Something that builds authority while you sleep. Each piece connected. Each one feeding into the next. Not random content. Not scattered effort. Structured output. Because most people create without a system. They post. They write, they try things, but nothing connects, nothing stacks, nothing compounds. This does, or at least, it's designed to. The publishing ring is about compounding interest. A book is a permanent asset. It sits on the shelf, digital or physical, and it works 24 hours a day. It builds the authority, it establishes the expertise, while the cleaning service handles the present. The publishing ring secures the future. We are building a catalog, not a single release. 100 assets, each paying a small rent. That is how you exit the hourly rate. That is how you become the owner. 3 rings, 1 system, and behind it, 1 operator. Running everything from a single command point. Not alone, but not traditional either. This isn't a team in the normal sense. This is structure, layers, execution built on top of logic. Strategy feeding production, production feeding output, output feeding assets, all moving together. And here's the part most people skip. The signal, or right now, the lack of it. No views, no traction, no validation, just uploads into silence. This is the phase nobody shows. Because it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't prove anything, yet, but this is where everything is decided. Because this is where most people stop. They build something, it doesn't move, and they assume it failed. It didn't fail. It hasn't been tested yet. There's a difference. 0 signal does not mean 0 value. It means 0 distribution. Or 0 time in the system. Or misalignment, that hasn't been corrected yet. That's what this phase is for. Adjustment, observation, iteration. The silence is a filter. It weeds out the tourists. People who want the result, but hate the process. In the Bronx, the rain doesn't stop for you. The market doesn't stop for you. You just keep laying the bricks. Even when nobody is looking. Especially when nobody is looking. Because the work you do in the dark is what puts you in the light. Because this is not content. This is construction, not a highlight reel, not a finished product. The actual build, the errors, the math, the corrections, what works, what doesn't, and what changes because of it. Most people will never show you this part. Because there's nothing to sell here. No proof, no big numbers, no outcome, yet, just a system, being assembled, piece by piece. And if you understand what you're looking at, this is the most valuable part. Not the success, the sequence, because if you see the sequence, you don't need the story. You can build your own. I run Future Hustle Company. Built in New York City. The Bronx, not from a corporate office. From the ground, from zero, from structure. This isn't just a name. It's a declaration. The future is the system we're building. The hustle is the physical labor. The co is the AI team backing me up. We are redefining what a small business looks like. It's not about the number of employees. It's about the efficiency of the architecture. And everything you're watching is before it works, before the six-figure screenshots, before the Lamborghinis, before the validation from people who didn't see the start. Most people are afraid of the zero. I am documenting the zero. Because the zero is the most honest number in business. It doesn't have an ego. It doesn't hide the truth. It just tells you that the work hasn't caught up to the vision yet. But it will. Because the system is the win. The results are just the byproduct. If you build a perfect machine, the output is guaranteed. I'm not chasing the money. I'm perfecting the machine. When the architecture is right, the wealth is inevitable. That is the operator's mindset. We focus on the gears. The world focuses on the noise. We stay in the silence. Building. So if you want to see what this actually takes, not the version after it's cleaned up, not the version after it's packaged for a course, the real version, while it's still being assembled, while the rain is still hitting the pavement in the Bronx, while I'm still the only one in the room, stay in. This is episode 1. The build has started. Welcome to the Future Hustle.